Shalom to you. This is Highlighter. This is the continuation of the spider, the showing of it. Here I'm going to show some details of what I've seen in Tartaria, and I want to point out that Tartaria is about the kingdoms of the earth. They call them the Tartarian kingdom, the Tartarian era, the medieval era, the Dark Ages, various names, but I'll show you a map. You can see the map here in a minute, but right now I want to show you about the global, the mindset of the world right after COVID-19 had came. At that time, our Creator was putting things together. He started showing to me since the beginning of my deliverance in 1997. In 2004, He revealed to me the spider that is a similitude of Inanna, of the goddess religion of the nations. And so this is what He was showing to me at the time of COVID-19 virus had came. And then He showed to me the spirit of the world through a few of the films. And He showed to me that the world was making an agreement with Inanna, and she is the head of the nations, and even the Tartaria, as we'll see. And He said unto me, Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do there. Ezekiel 8:9.
For the Imperium, spice is used by the navigators of the Spacing Guild to find safe paths between the stars. Without spice, interstellar travel is impossible, making it by far the most valuable substance in the universe.
About to sell the planet to Inanna. Look right there. That's a pin, a needle. Right there.
Gurney.
That's a needle of Inanna.
How much will it cost them?
Right here.
Traveling all this way for this formality.
3 guild navigators, a total of 1.46 million, 62 salaries round trip.
Here comes the devil. Look right here is a needle. The kings of the earth are shaking hands.
By the grace of Shaddam, fourth of House Carino, ascendant to the golden lion throne of Padisha, Emperor of the known universe, I stand before you as herald of the change. We're witnessed by members of the Imperial Court, representatives of the Spacing Guild, and a sister of the Bene Gesserit. The Emperor has spoken. House Atreides shall immediately take control of Arrakis and serve as its steward. Do you accept?
We are House Atreides. There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray. The Emperor asks us to bring peace to Arrakis. House Atreides accepts! Atreides! 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 Atreides!
You're still.
So it's done.
It's done.
They sold our planet to Lucifer. Every human being who does not have the blood of the Lamb. That is your only hope. That is our hope. The globalists have sold us out. The Americans, Israel, every nation has sold you out. All of us have been sold out to Lucifer. And I'm going to show that to you right now. It began a long time ago, but it's becoming very clear that the powers upon the earth are not natural. The signs and symbols from Tartaria kingdom, from the medieval times, from the Roman Empire, from Babylon until now. I want you to trust that Yahweh has sent me with these words and these messages to open your eyes that you may see. Look below here. Mother, Gaius, Helena, Mochaim. Mother and Gaius refers to, it's a picture of Gaia, the mother goddess. Helena is what the Roman Empire had used in reference to Lucifer, whose name is Halel ben Shachar. Halel ben Shachar, son of the morning, son of the dawn, who has no light. The twilight goddess. H-E-L for Helena, or for Halel. So here is a reference to Lucifer and the mother goddess. This is the spirit of the world. Here is Isis, the veil of Isis. You can go to Wikipedia and see. The spirit of the world is shown the same likeness. Here is Mork and Mindy from the 70s, a TV show. The belief is that the goddess came down in an egg, which is Ishtar, the Ishtar egg. And here is Mork, a man with red. And Ishtar, Inanna, has many names in many cultures. Ninshiana is one, the Sumerian deity, and her name means to be red. So the color red is a reference to Ishtar, Inanna, Ninshiana from Samaria. And here is the goddess symbol here. Mork and Mindy, the egg. In the background, the Black Widows in the background. Here are some movies from 2021. These all came together. When I've seen Dune, you can see the first 10 minutes free. I've seen Dune. I didn't even finish it. I just got to the first few minutes of it. And I've seen the spirit of our Creator was using that to reveal to me that they were reenacting. These reenactments. The very first reenactment was called the Theatron, and the work that I'm doing is the Theatron of Black Widow. The Theatron is a theater, and the first stories were reenactments of the resurrection of Osiris. And today we call them passion plays, where Jesus is on the cross. But actually it's a reenactment of the resurrection of Osiris. If you've seen the revelation I've given on the crucifix, you'll see that the cross has 3 nails as a picture of the to illustrate or to create the image of the idol of 8 and 3. The devil's ring came out. He's got the black clothes with the red, typical of the villains. Colors of the Black Widow, of the globalist, vampire colors, however you want to see it, it's all the same thing. Look at her hair. This is from Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This came out in 2021. And his colors, when you see the movie, is black and red, like the colors of the Black Widow, like the villains. And her hair is the same as in the movie for Dune and ISIS. That's the deal. All the kings agree with Inanna on Halloween, October 31st, 2021. I thought it's very important to point this out and to show to you what had happened, and that the snowball effect has occurred since that time, since 2021, when they had the COP21 on Halloween night. All these nations have agreed. And here is a red flower, red flower, red flower. It's interesting because some of these globalists may try to hide symbols as if somebody does not know. But those are minor issues. Here is a symbol for the protest for climate change, which was the hourglass for the extinction. Because the female black widow spider is about control, fear, and manipulation. They have one mind. The United Nations has their own spider. It's a program. I thought that was very suspicious to have this, because before I seen this, Yahweh revealed this, and this, as everything that I share, is the evidence of the resurrection of Yahshua, our Messiah, because our Father has revealed to me things that nobody else would know but Him. This is inside the meditation room in the United Nations, and there's 8 of these, and one of these are different. It's a chevron. It's 8 and V, 8 and 3. Here is the name and symbol of Inanna, the idol of the God of the world. Right there you can see. The spider has 8 legs and a chevron. The handle of the heart, I discovered in my past in Tibetan Buddhism. I was looking back and remember this is Marpa from the lineage of the Buddhist masters. It has the hand symbol here. Just as on the right is Santa Kitera, the red one, who is, it says, the World Book Encyclopedia shows she is named after Astarte, who is closely related to Ishtar, the goddess Ishtar, Inanna. Same likeness of these deities. The nations, all the nations, is getting clearer and clearer to the majority now, are starting to see that the goddess of the nations is being worshipped. Here's a map of Tartaria. Take note that down here at the bottom, the RIA is separated. They did that, and up at the top is one long string, but down here they separated to highlight RIA. So let's take a look and see what RIA is. The spider that taketh hold with her hands and is in kings' palaces, they have one mind. All the kings of the earth have laid with Inanna, because the spider, as scripture says, is in kings' palaces. And it was the kings of Israel that fell because of the spider that hangs out in the temples in kings' palaces. In other words, according to Revelation 17, Inanna, the mother of harlots, is laying with the kings of the earth. As I showed you at the beginning of the film, was Dune, the trailer for Dune. She is shaking hands with the kings of the earth. And this is what you will see in Tartaria, that all of these buildings, they all look the same. Now, I want you to look at the Tower of Babel. I forgot to include that. If you look at the Tower of Babylon, the very first painting was around 15th century, And if you look at it closely, you'll see that same design is in all of the world. The Roman Colosseum is built that way. The United States Capitol is built that way. All the capitals in all the world, and even the Hindu temples, are all built the same way. Rhea is the mother of the gods of the Titans. R-I-A. That's what I'm looking here. R-I-A. Rhea. Down here at the bottom, Rhea. And Mary in the Catholic Church, she's called Mary, the mother of God. But I'm sorry to disappoint you, but God does not have a mother. He is the maker of all things, set apart from everything that there is, the King of the universe. He has no mother, and he was not born either. She put her web across the Tartaria. It's her thread. As a Tibetan Buddhist, we had the word Tantra, and Tantra means to make a thread. Like Indra's net. It's all woven together to have one mind, to be in one agreement. That's what Tartaria shows to you. Everything is an agreement. These symbols that I've been showing to you, 8 and 3, 8V, it's in all the buildings. And here's Rhea, associated with the lion. All the goddesses are associated with the lion. Well, particularly Inanna. If she has a different name, like Astarte, Ishtar, Inanna, she'll have a lion, but have a different title, different name, because it's used in different culture. And Tartarus is hell in the Bible. It's hell. This is where the Titans went to. These are the Titans of Olympus, the Roman gods of Olympus. And Tartarus is connected to the word Tartaria. They sound alike, they look alike, and I thought to mention that. And it has a connection of Rhea, the mother of the gods. But really it's Lucifer, because Lucifer has fallen angels that follow Lucifer. And he is the leader of the angels, just as is the goddess is the leader, the mother of the Titans. And has covered the earth with the goddess. The religion of the globalists, the majority. Most of the world has rejected our Creator, that they don't know, and they have chosen to follow a different path. I was a Tibetan Buddhist many years, and that was the path I took, was the path of the goddess. Because in Tibetan Buddhism I was tricked to believe that there's no other love than the love of a mother has for her only child. And through my flesh, the flesh of my mind, the spirit of my flesh, I trained it and cared for it and cultivated it through my own efforts, that I would have compassion of the devil and not of our Creator. Because it's all worthless. Without the blood of the Lamb, without the knowledge of our Creator, it has no use at all. And the anti-Messiah and the kings have one mind. There's a war going on between the goddess, which is Lucifer, and our Creator. This is what you'll see in these buildings and these structures. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Just as I said that the Tibetan Buddhism taught me that there's no other love greater, there's a word greater, than the love that a mother has for her only child. Right there is a statement from Lucifer that says that the feminine is greater than the masculine. And this is how Lucifer manifests to all the nations. When you get into these images of Tartaria, you're going to see statues of faces, of the green man, of a female face that's built into the walls. You're going to see goddess statues. This is because the world has chosen Lucifer, knowingly or not. Most likely the globalists, the leaders, may be aware, as it says in the movie Mission Impossible, the new Mission Impossible. The question came up, are they self-aware? I went in to watch the film, like it says in Ezekiel chapter 8 verse 9. It says to go in, which is a military term, and by the Spirit of our Creator, our Father took me in, and I went in to see, and it's exactly the words that I was questioning our Creator. I said, oh Yahweh, are they self-aware? Do they know what, the choices they're making? Are they self-aware? And when I put the TV on and watched the Mission Impossible, they said the exact same thing, that they are self-aware. Lucifer wants to be like the Most High. Before Tartaria, there was Babylon. We all know the story about Babylon. They spoke one language. They didn't want to do what Yahweh wanted, and Yahweh, I recently was taught, our Creator showed to me, teaching me, that He told the nations to go out and multiply the earth. And they did not multiply and spread out and take dominion over the whole planet and reproduce. That was the instructions of our Creator. But they chose not to do that. Instead, they chose to make a tower to reach up into heaven. So the first statement was they didn't want to agree with Yahweh and to take dominion over the planet. But instead, they went their way and wanted to build a tower, and that's what they did. Lucifer is shiny. And as you'll see, when you see the spider, you'll see Lucifer. And when you'll see the spider and you see the world, when you see the world, you'll see the spider as well. Fat and shiny, prideful, luxurious. Before Tartaria, there was Babylon. Here's the 8th gate of Ishtar. The number 8 is connected to Inanna, to Ishtar, and the lion as well. Here is the map of Babylon, which has 8 regions called Nagu. I recommend this book by Jeremy Black. He goes into details about Babylon. Here is an image that shows to you the use of the swastika is quite interesting to see in Tartaria. So I had to stop here and illustrate some things. So the swastika is the number 8. Crosses are the number 8. When you see 12-pointed stars, it points to 888, as does the year for the independence of the United States of 1776. There's 8 hours of work, 8 hours of play, and 8 hours of rest. That's 24, and that's where 88 comes in. And that's how the gods rule over us. The 16-point flower is 8 and 8. As you'll see, that's a dinger. There's hourglasses on this building. I know it's an eyesore for many, but let's look at the swastika, because the swastika came up in Tartaria. This does not represent Master Yahshua or the kingdom of Yahweh. Here's one source from the swastika, is a Big Dipper. You'll see the shape here, and its connection to the North Star. And Lucifer said that he wanted to exalt himself above Yahweh's throne, and Yahweh's throne was associated to the north. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend to heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So the enemy wants to use this symbol to represent his kingdom, but the enemy has no kingdom. It's a perversion of the reference to our Creator. So now you'll get a chance to see how Inanna, Lucifer, has taken possession of the symbol that represents Yahweh, the North Star. This enemy has taken possession of the cross to represent itself, has taken possession of even Jesus, the ideal of Jesus, and now is represented, Lucifer is being represented as Jesus in certain aspects. So you'll have to be patient to hear how Inanna has been synchronized with Jesus, but not the true one. This is another one. The true Jesus is not synchronized with nobody, but is the Son of Yahweh. There is a church that belongs to the world, and there's a church that belongs to Jesus. So if I say the world and its church, know that I'm talking about exactly what I say. The world and its church. They have their own, and the world received its own. That's why people are practicing all the pagan feasts. They get involved in worldly parties and concerts. I'm talking about Christians that people use a label Christian, and they're up there on stage dancing around and getting involved in the world because they love the world, and the world received its own, and so that's why they all agree with Trinity, and that's why they all agree with the number 8. Halloween, Easter, all those pagan feasts all point to the number 8 because they have one mind, and the world received its own. And in the future they will receive the mark of the beast because they receive the world and the spirit of the world that's led by Inanna. In my past, I was part of the swastika religion, of Buddhism, and this is the second source where the swastika is seen and comes from. These are all the number 8, the 8-pointed star, Inanna. This is what you're going to see in Tartaria. But the house of Israel, it makes an oath to Yahweh by the number 7 and 7s. And there are 6 steps to the throne. The king is the 7th. 1 Kings 10:19. Right here, to 7 oneself. So if you keep the feast of Inanna, her Sabbaths and feast, you're showing you agree with her and not with him. That's the whole point. There's much more to learn, and our Creator is teaching all of us different things. But one thing is clear, is that the number 7 is associated with Yahweh, our Creator. If you don't think so, go to Blue Letter Bible and search for the word 7 and see how that appears. The number 8 is associated to the earth. 8th day circumcision because you're bound to the earth. You make an oath to Yahweh, but you're in the world. You're born into the world. 8th day. The 8th word in the Bible is the word earth, because 8 and earth in this world is connected to number 8. When you see this symbol in the world, you know that it's Yahweh of armies has done it. There's no need to fear them. Build up your trust in Yahweh and your fear in Him, that He is strong enough to guard you and keep you. Yahshua Messiah answered, "My kingdom is not of this world." We trust in His words, and His words is what sets us free and keeps us safe, where we don't have to worry. Inanna is at the center of this world, and I'll show you revelations. Everything is revelations from our Creator. The devil's in the details, in the center of this world system, because Yah the Great, He put her there. Our hope is in Him, not her. Look, He exploits her there in the center of each below. The name and symbol of Inanna. Right here. This is Transformers, the film. Rise of the Beast film just came out this year. And on the right is the Phaistos disc. And it's written in an unknown language. They both have 8 and 3, 8 and V. Clearly you'll see right there. There's a pitchfork in the middle for the number 3. And the Phaistos disc also, same thing. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 ends, and then the V, a chevron, right there, a triangle, 8 and V. Yahweh has revealed it, and this is my evidence that Yahshua, our Messiah, has died for me, and he rose to power, and it's by him that our Creator has been kind to share this with me. So here in the movie Transformers, who is at the center of this? Inanna is at the center, right there. Right here is at the center. As things progress, it'll be seen as not just, one name, Inanna, but the God of this world, which is Lucifer, and it is manifest in different ways to see and understand. Because I don't want to give out too much information on this symbol. But it's 8 and 3 is what you're looking at. And here is the 8-pointed star right there. She is at the center of this disc. Just as the narratives, the world narratives in the media, don't trust anything you hear or see. The only thing you trust is the Spirit of Yahweh. He is the only thing you can trust. When you see a movie, you hear the news, if you concern yourself about what they think and what they're doing, what they're planning, you will not be, you will be led astray. But instead, I challenge you, and I want to provoke you to consider what Yahweh thinks and what He is doing in all things, in all the media, in all the movies, everything you hear and everything you see. What is He doing? What is He saying? Put Him at the center, and then you'll have peace and progress. So far, I've covered this: Israel, the churches, crop circles, neo-Nazis. Then I showed the cross and skull, the crossbones and the skull of the secret societies, what that means. The crown of the Pope has no power. The Pope has no power. Lucifer has no power. Not over me, not over you. Not if you've been cleansed with the blood of the Lamb, because the Father and the Son dwells with you. The purpose for dying on that cross is, we cannot imagine all the benefits, but one of them was to remove the authority of Lucifer over the nations. And now you're going to see more and more as you spend time. You will see that our Father, with His great love and kindness, His grace and mercy, is to make the spirit of the anti-Messiah visible. So now there's no excuse. He's given the world many chances, and I'm sharing this information that you see in Tartaria, in the old world. The name and symbol of Inanna, the god of this world. Lucifer is the owner of this world system, and it's very evident. And this is what's being destroyed. Yahweh of armies, He is my light and my salvation. Psalms 27:1. If you want the understanding correctly, you'll need to see this 10-minute video on the brick of Uruk. This is the revelations that Yahweh gave to me. There's a spider and the brick. They both match, and our world matches to them both. What is Tartaria, the old world? It's a historical name for Central Asia and Siberia. Ignorance surrounding Tartaria use as a place name has spawned conspiracy theories, including ideals of a hidden past and mud floods. Some people believe that the mud floods was Armageddon. We already had Armageddon. Some people also believe that the millennial reign of Christ has already passed, and Jesus already came, and He's already rose the dead, and we all in a whole different timeline. But what I'm adding to this is the name and symbol of Inanna, of Lucifer, that shows that if that was the millennial kingdom, then why is Lucifer's name on the churches and all the buildings and the government and the church and state? And you'll see as we go through this that these things do not represent Christ. It's all I can do is show to you what I've seen, and it's quite a bit. The spider ate Tartaria and the Georgia guidestones, and the purpose for showing this to you is that these guidestones are destroyed, as are countless structures from the old world, Tartaria, through fires. Here's one channel on my lunch break I recommend. That's where I learned most of what I've learned about Tartaria was from watching over about 40-50 videos. And so I recommend this channel, and he is not the only one, but there's a large community of people out there that are they're disclosing the behavior of the globalists who are destroying these structures. They're destroying evidence that Lucifer is ruling Earth, and they don't want you to know that. The globalists are painting. They're trying to paint a different type of picture. That's what the reset was about: is to wipe out the knowledge of the past. Here's a video you can see on the different cathedrals in North America. Give you an idea of some of the churches.
A monument considered by some conservative Christians to be satanic was badly damaged by an explosive device. One of the 4 granite panels on the Georgia Guidestones monument was reduced to rubble. The attraction was built in 1980 from local granite and commissioned under the name R.C. Christian. The 19-foot-high panels bear a 10-part message in 8 languages with guidance for living an age of reason. The so-called American Stonehenge also serves as a sundial and astronomical calendar. The bombing is under investigation.
There are 8 languages because the God that rules over Earth, there are 8. Anu is a sky god, and Inanna, they both are symbolized by the picture on the right, the 8-pointed star. That's a Sumerian dinger. You're going to see a lot of that in this video. It's very, very relevant. Together is 88. And this is what was hidden from the Georgia Guidestones. It had 8 languages on there, and in graffiti they had the word Isis, the goddess of love, was written on there. So it was hiding the connection between 2 things, the number 8 and the goddess Isis. There are 6 steps to the throne. The king is the 7th. Jesus, Yahshua, our Messiah, is Lord of the Sabbath of 7s and not 8s. So what was destroyed was data that connects the number 8 to Inanna, to the goddess. In other words, the spirit behind it was to keep people blind. But Yahweh is showing to me that he's bringing attention to that. There's a short video you can see here on the Guidestones. All the global leaders have come together by the number 8. This is what I showed you at the beginning with the COP26. On Halloween night, they all came together. In October is the number 8. So all the global leaders came together in October, the 8th month, or it means number 8. On Halloween, the graffiti, it says, "I am Isis, goddess of love." It was spray painted. The FBI has a report. You can see that this is true. You can fact check that. And here is her star, right there, the 8-pointed star, on the coat of arms for Pope Francis. Here's an image from a museum. This is Isis nursing Horus on the throne. supported by 2 lions. There's the number 8 right there. The goddess plus the number 8 is Babylon. Like the Ishtar gate I showed you at the beginning, that gate is the 8th gate, and it's associated to a goddess, a female. So here again is a female and the number 8. Goddess and the number 8. That's her number. But the thing is, the world is synchronizing Jesus to this number, the number 8, by saying he raised on Sunday. Look right here, Trinity, and the 8th day, Sunday Sabbath, is also Babylonian. So you have a choice, Jesus number 7 or Jesus number 8. There's a very big difference, because one is lawless and one is a fake. The other one's real. Like you were taught in church, study the real thing and you'll understand the fake. So what happens is, the globalists, the United Nations, with their curriculum to teach all the churches and pastors in the world, have taught the churches, and the churches have taught you lies, because they want to keep hidden the goddess. But they can't hide the goddess very much longer, because our Creator is unveiling her. He's been doing that for a long time. I'm watching it and seeing it. We're all participating. Here's a poster, Lady of Heaven. Isis, Queen of Heaven, Lady of Heaven. Here's her name on the brick of Uruk. Anu is the god of the skies, and Inanna is the goddess of the skies. Together is 88. Pictured in the Dingur. And the Dingur is actually in her name. It's a generic symbol for god or goddess. Heavens and sky. Then the chevron here. When you see the video, you'll know that here is the yod on top, the Hebrew letters on top of this, and the way Yahweh showed to me is it's pushing out the Dingur, that his letter yod is on top. It doesn't appear here very clear, but it's very clear on this right here, on this brick. Yahweh showing to me his sovereignty. And the word yod means to throw out anyway, so regardless, Yahweh overrides all communications, because his name, the letter yod, means to throw out, and he's throwing that out into the world. He's the one who has done it. He's the one who is trusted. Here's our globalist looking good like a black widow right there. They have no idea, or maybe they do. I can't say. Yahweh checks the heart. Man looks to the outer appearance. And this is what they're doing there. That's why they do what they do. With the goddess symbol of water, the number 8, 8 leaders, and the main leader here, like the colors of the black widow. This is what the globalists do. This is at the G7 summit in 21. This all happened the same year when I seen the Dune movie. At the very beginning of this film, I gave you some examples, and this is how the Spirit was leading me to see these things. And I've seen this right here inside the church, in our films, in politicians. Matter of fact, when they had the fires in Maui, Hawaii, and all those people died, the city of Maui got on the microphone and started speaking and giving their statement, and there was one of their leaders wearing the same colors, so that we would know that they're globalists, they're involved into it. It's the spirit of this world that's led by Inanna. Without the blood of the Lamb, this is how the global leaders appear and behave and think, and they'll have one mind, because they will agree with the beast. Here's the video to watch, 39 minutes. It shows the globalist leaders, and when you see this, you'll see it in the churches, in our films, and throughout the world. Can two walk except they be agreed? Amos 3:3. This one here does not belong there. That's not our Savior. This is number 8, who is inclusive, all inclusive. Everybody wants to agree. The spirit of the world is led by Inanna, by her number 8. And the church, believes that Jesus was raised on the 8th day, and so there is their mistake by aligning him to Inanna. And so now they're out there eating grass, crawling around on all fours like an animal, barking. They're having drag queen shows and transgender pastors, female leaders that are over men, that are shepherding men. All these things that are going on in the church has its roots, has its beginning. Just like with the Tower of Babel, Yahweh told them to go out and multiply and subdue the earth, and to multiply, and be fruitful and multiply. But they do not want to do that. Instead, they want to do their own way. Like right here, they want to equate Jesus with Inanna, because they think that their thoughts are higher than what the Bible says. Isaiah 55, 7 through 11 says his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. What the Bible says, and not, we don't go by our thoughts, what we speculate. He was raised on the 7th day. And now they're conquering in this sign, 8 and 3, 8 and V. They're not the only ones. You'll see, as you have. Only Yahweh will give you sight to see that the planet does not belong, well, the kingdoms of this earth belongs to the enemy. But when our Messiah returns, everything will change. 88, look at there, 888. People actually call that number to try to reach Jesus because they believe that's his number. That's how they were taught. Here is an old world church. The movie Indiana Jones was educating their audience on what that is. This is actually the Dingur. The Star of Inanna is the same as the Knights Temple, or as the Iron Cross. I took the Dingur right here and turned it and twisted it a little bit so you can see. You got 2 points on the bottom, 2 on the top on each side. This is actually 88 with 2 of these, 8 and 8. So by having 2 8s on the front door, has no connection to the church at all, 0. But it does have meaning to the gods of Sumerian and Lucifer, 88. And that's what they don't want you to see, these connections, that they're destroying all the evidence. They're trying to. There's your iron cross. If you've seen the crop circle video, you'll see the crop circles are matching the same ones. They are smarter, greater than us. That's a sign that the Black Widow is greater than the male. And like Lucifer wants to be greater. So when you see things like this, you know it's not of our kingdom, the kingdom of Messiah. It's the kingdom of the enemy of this world, who wants to outshine man, so that man will worship it. But Yahweh has made the female Black Widow spider, and that spider will outshine the enemy. Right here, 8 and 3 on the front door. There's 2 of them. There's 2 widows right there on the front door. Later on, you'll see 2 X's on a church. Those 2 X's is the same thing as 2 of these black widows right there on the front there, the 2 spiders. Yahweh hasn't revealed to all the meaning, and none of us can have all the meaning because it belongs to him, and he gives to us according to his pleasure. But right now, I see that this is Baal and Asherah, male and female deities is the picture. And not simply 2 female black widows, but the 2 is the opposites, male and female. Even though the male does not have the marking, I know that, but it's the communication, the picture Yahweh's showing, because they're both number 8s. Yahweh the Great has made the spider, and now you'll see how the world is matching to it. Praise Yah, He is powerful. He's the one who's outshining the enemy. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I'll be like the Most High. So now these people down here, look how small these people are. Do you think these people would worship this building and the builders who built it? Of course they would. And they think it's Lucifer, or they think it's Jesus or God or Yahweh. But inside you'll see whose name and symbols are inside of it. The plus sign is to be greater than. Also the number 8. 8 is greater than 7, which is a picture of Israel. Because Yahweh chose Israel because they were smaller and not greater like the number 8. And that's why you know that people say Jesus number 8, you know that that's the wrong Messiah. Because that one is trying to be greater than the true Messiah. As you'll look and see, there are many spider myths and spider goddesses throughout all the cultures in the world. Greek, Romans. The Bohemian Grove is this picture here. It says the spiders come not here. Weaving spiders come not here. This image is at the entrance to the Bohemian Grove, and Bohemian Grove is a place where the globalists go to do their rituals. It's not of my interest to what they're doing, but I want to show you the connection to the spider with the global leaders. And the owl is a symbol of Inanna as well. Ancient Egypt, ancient Greece. So see again that all these buildings you'll see have matching symbols, matching architecture. Then the religions have matching myths of the goddess and the spider, and so it should become easy to see the spirit of the world. They all are in agreement. They don't know it, and they don't understand why they follow such traditions, but it's because they don't have the knowledge and the wisdom from our Creator that came by the blood of Yeshua. By making a covenant with our Creator, He has renewed us and restored us to our Maker. One web, one queen. By the number 8, she rules the world wide web and the entire global system. The ideal is to create one mind. Lucifer wants to be great in the eyes of man, to be worshipped. So we have to be careful, those who are out there looking and watching and seeing and trying to understand. Every one of us will be tempted to worship, because if you're going to understand the works of darkness and you think you're going to expose these, or our Creator wants you to expose things, you're going to give attention to these things and be tempted to worship these things and to give too much airtime to the enemy. The word spider in Hebrew is from the meaning of destroy, to make desolate. Strong's 8070. It's from 8074. Yahshua means Yah delivers. He is the only power. Romans 13:1. He can deliver you from the destroyer, and I believe is the builder of Tartaria, and it's why the world worships her. The spirit, not an actual spider, but the spirit of Inanna, of Lucifer, and other gods. Here's 1, 2, 3, 8, 8, 8. And look at all these crosses. How many do you need? The crucifix is the mother of all idols. It also shows 8 and 3, 8 and V. These are protector saints. These were, I first seen these in Tibetan Buddhism, and then I've seen in all the religions of the world, well, the main ones, they all have protectors and saints. They're idols. And right here is 3, 3, 3, which is a Trinity God right there. 3, 3, 3. And it comes out to the number 9, which is a picture of Lucifer, the serpent, Tet, the triple deity. The Wiccans, witchcraft, Satanists, they all use this right here, because there's one mind. The enemy found a way to synchronize the religion of the world with the set apart faith that we have in Jesus Christ, of Yahshua, our Messiah. They are running side by side with us. They are sharing symbols and trying to hide within our symbols in our religion. They are taking possession of our teachings and our symbols. And this is what Yahweh wants you to see. There's a video on the crucifix. The teacher believes it was a tree. The Torah says that cursed is a man who hangs on a tree. So I don't know the truth on what kind of tree that was. If it was carved out tree like a cross, which I most likely it was, that was a Roman tradition. Unless the whole narrative has been lied about, you know. But the pictures we have, there was actual crosses and stakes and poles. But regardless of how it went down, each one of these crosses is a picture of the number 8. And here they are, and this is the Tartarian building. There's 3, there's 3, and there's 3. Right there is your triple deity. This is Lucifer, 8, the number 9. 1, 2, 3. 8, 8, 8. So you have 8, 8, 8, and then the 3, the triple deity right there, which is the number 9. Here's 8, 8, 8 again.
And we stand here today in defiance of their siege and destroy their symbols of oppression.
That was the American flag. That was the American flag. I'm an American, and these people are threatening to harm this country. So my suggestion is somebody sits down with them, have a cup of coffee, and show them the truth. And if I was anywhere near them, I'd pull the spider out and show that spider to them, that they would see themselves. There it is right there. 8, 8, 8. The spider has 8 legs, 8 eyes, and the body the shape of an 8. They are worshiping the spider, who is their god, Lucifer. 8, 8, 8. The triple deity is symbolized by 8, 8, 8. If you look online and you search for the largest church in the world, you'll see a church, and I guess I can't remember what country, is in Korea maybe, Asia, is the largest one, and it has 3 big crosses right on top of it because they're representing Lucifer. When you compare the signs and doctrine, you'll see and understand that this spirit will not dwell in an environment that's clean and kosher. Try it and see. Try it. Remove all your crosses, all your idols, all your symbols. Get rid of your Trinity doctrine. Keep your seventh day. And then see what happens. You won't have no more transgender pastors. No more drag queens doing strip teases to the children. Here's the Goddess Tanat symbol. The twisted serpent. I want to show it to you that the circle symbol, when you twist it, is the number 8. That's what the catechist right here is. The Ouroboros, the serpent biting the tail, because the Black Widow is at the end of the serpent, and it's at the end of the world, the end of this age. It becomes very clear and more apparent that this is how the world appears. We're already seeing it right now. Our global leaders, I've discussed this. It's in the content and the ministry that I've shared with you about the Black Widow symbol. As it gets darker in the world, we will see more and more. And when you do, stop and recognize that our Creator, Yahweh, is the one who's doing it. And when you recognize Him, that He is doing the work, guarantee it, He will build you and make you stronger. And you won't fear anything but Him and trust Him. And that's what He wants from all of us, is to keep our trust in Him. Because He is the one who's terrifying. He's the one who is dangerous. They think they're dangerous. No, Yahweh is dangerous. It's dangerous just to even talk about these things, but I don't fear anybody but Him. Because He's the one who's dangerous. They're the ones who need to run from Him. And I will go after them with that spider if I have to. If He would let me, I will take it with me. Wherever He wants me to go. And that's where I'm at right now, in a city that has this problem. Every city has this problem. And becomes more apparent as we progress. But the church has no power right now. As long as they keep aligning to Inanna, they are powerless. They need to learn. Here is again 888. They highlight the circles. It's speculative, there's no guarantee to say that, but I'm showing to the spirit of the world. Here again, Paul Van Dyke, he has music about the planet Venus. He's a trance player, and so his music has it about Venus. Then he has the 3 rings, which is 888. It's a way to hide the 3 8s. The spider I showed you, 8 eyes, 8 legs, and the body the shape of 8, like the analema. The Tartarians supposedly had giants, and here's an illustration that's illustrating it. Here is the idol. Right there on the nipples is 8 and 8. And if you look right here, there's another 8. So it's 3 8. But stop here and look and see the 2 circles, and then right below is the number 3. 8 and 3, as you see right there. And then, conveniently, is a star of Inanna. So my take on this picture, this is a symbol, it's symbolizing Inanna. Possibly as a warrior. So the White House has the same symbol here. Same shape, same symbol. 2 circles and a chevron. The 8-pointed star of Inanna on the coat of arms for Pope Francis, and you'll see 8 and 3. Like right here. It's 2 circles, is 8 and 3. And then the star of Inanna here, 8 and 3. Indiana Jones, same thing. There's a match. Last month, my apartment complex, they got to upgrade, and they put this symbol on the website for the apartment, because the owners is not led by Yahshua or Messiah, because of this symbol here is being used. The spirit of the world. The body of Messiah is not joined to the spirit of the world, and because of that, we're not going to have the mark of the beast. I'm not saying it's here now, but I'm saying that anything that's connected to Lucifer will not be with us unless we're working, doing some kind of work. 888 right there. The 3 octograms, it's the same pattern, and the Panagia of Virgin Mary, it's the same thing. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. It's the sign of the cross. But before that, before there was a such thing as the Catholic Church, thousands of years before that, this is what we have here. The 888. If you look at the necklace here on the right, it's the same thing. This is what we're representing. The stars of Inanna, of the gods here. This is a hoard necklace in Dilbat, Iraq. 888. There's a connection here to Baal as well. Here's a local church. The cross is 8, and it's a chevron right there. It also has 2 squares, which is also 88. If you take your hand and you reach up, and then you reach out, or reach in, and you do what it says right here, reach up, reach in, reach out. If you follow that instructions, you will make the sign of the cross, which is 888. Here, again, is it on the forehead, 888. Calvary is 3 crosses, 888. Like I said, that Inanna is at the center of the world's narrative. So anything that's coming through the narrative of the world in the mainstream, the blind, which the world calls the sheeple. They say sheeple or whatever the term they use. That they're trying to lead all the world in one direction, the way that they want the world to go. And this is one of the ways, is to believe lies. And here is the greatest lie that I've seen so far, that our Father has revealed to me. When you see the introduction video, you'll see that 10-minute video on the Brick of Ur. You'll see Hillsong worshiping the name and symbol of Inanna, because they've found a way to synchronize. But our Creator is the one who does it, because He has His plans to do. And from what I can see, part of it is that the majority is going to be misled to follow Inanna. She is connected with 3 8s. Here is theta, and theta is the 8th letter. And here's the Y, 8 and V. And I know that's a letter V. Here's my witness. A very gay Raptor truck from Ford. Look at the license plate. It's HIY. And the Y is actually a V. Just like right here. It's theta, which is 8, and the Y, which is a V. So it's 8 and V. Just like the truck is HIY, but in the spirit realm it's going to read HIV, like the virus. And look here, 88 is connected. That's Lucifer's number, connected to the gay culture. And the truck is rainbow colors, and it's called Clear as Day Gay Rapture Truck, with 88, which is Lucifer, and the license plate is HIV, and that Y is synonymous with the shape of the V. As you see right here on the Panagia of Virgin Mary, there's my witness, 8 and V. The name of Inanna is right there on the Panagia. You'll see it's very common. Don't know how much you've seen, but I've seen quite a bit. And the 3/8 appears very often with 8 and V. That's something to keep an eye on, you'll notice. You can see more on 88 with this file on the number 28. Here's some more Tartarian old world pictures, a cave, 8 and V. Blessed be the name of Yahshua who has done this. This is a school inside. You'll see that this is very common in Tartaria and many of the buildings. The lining of the walls and ceilings have this. You'll see them on furniture. It's the octagram with the cube. It also appeared in Black Panther movie, in the part 2. It was at the end of the credits. And if you get a chance to hear the end credits, there's a song that's being played with this, that goes with this. It says something about kicking in the doors of heaven, or tearing down the doors of heaven. So in other words, it's echoes of war against heaven. It also appeared in the Barbie movie, not the movie but the trailer. You can see quite a bit in the trailers, about 2 minutes. But it's the same global symbol, the octagram and the chevron. And it's also inside the White House. This is a Resolute desk when Obama's in office. And you'll see right here on the sofa, right there, same symbol. So the point to say that, or showing, is that nobody is immune. And the only hope we have is the blood of the Lamb, of Yahshua our Messiah. This shows to me that the Spirit that's leading our nations and leading the world is the same Spirit that Yahweh has made, and He is in control of it all. He wants to bring people to repentance, and He wants people to believe that He sent His Son, and to trust that there is an actual threat against our planet and our people. The circle has a cross in it. That's an old Luciferian symbol. And if you need a witness to that, you would want to contact, let's see, there's a sermon room is the name. It's a Seventh-day Adventist teacher. I don't align to anybody, but you know, he has uncovered a lot of work. Walter Veith is his name, Walter Veith. And you can go to sermon room. That's how you find him. And he spent a lot of hours of uncovering, and I noticed that he pointed this here out as an old Luciferian symbol. But that's not the point of saying this. The cross is above the chevron. That's 8 and 3. And other symbols too is the letter M, but my interest is not in that. It's the 8 and V. Here's a Master Dinger. The symbol right here in the middle, it runs all the way down. It's in all the windows. My belief is that it's a match to the Sumerian symbol for Anu. It's like a triangle with one line. Here's some examples of Sumerian script, the cuneiform script. Here is again the cross above the chevron, 8 and V. The Tartarian world, this is a good example of how I've seen a lot of pictures in the 1800s, I guess. The goddess is being celebrated. Here is 8 and 3, and usually the 3 is at the bottom below it. So this is unusual. This is the only occurrence I've seen that's like this. But throughout the time you see Tartarian images, you'll see the 8 is above the 3. Here's a tree of life inside of a church, according to Kabbalah. The tree of life is here. I want to encourage those who believe that Jesus had died for them, as I do, that the problem we have is mixture. So do not be discouraged, but be glad that our Creator has answers, and He gives them to His servants, to us who believe and trust Him, that we're looking at mixture. He talks about mixture in the Old Testament quite a bit, and then in the New Testament, Revelations, He mentions it again. Here's 8 and V. I thought that maybe that was some kind of mistake, but that's how I see it. It's 8 and V. Very clear. And these circular objects are bigger than the other ones. It stands out, and it draws attention to those two numbers, 8 and V. This is from Stoke School. If you pay attention to the titles of the video, you can follow up on the exact location in the video. Stoke School is very large inside, like Star Wars does it. Large statues, large columns, everything's big. Here's idols. It's full of idols everywhere. Tartaria is full of idols. So why would you think that this represents Jesus Christ, of our Messiah, Yahshua? He's not an idol worshiper. 8, 8, 8. And then 8 and 3 right here. Like I said before, the 3 8s are often together with 8 and 3, 8 and V. They put these on the barns and buildings, and it still shows a cross on top of the building. That's something to observe, is that they found a way to, because a lot of these buildings have crosses on them, and that's what's, it's very eye-opening to see just how many buildings had crosses on them. And then the trend was, according to the images, the trend seemed to be to get rid of the crosses and then find some other way to symbolize a cross on there, but it's not a cross like this right here, like on top of barns. This is probably the greatest, the most eye-opening piece of data that Yahweh has given to me, to show to me without doubt that Lucifer is connected to the Pope's crown and to all these images I'm showing to you with the 8 and 3, 8V. Because right here, if you look at it, this is Inanna, or Diana of Ephesus. Here's the goddess, whichever name you want to use, but this particular one is Diana of Ephesus. The silversmiths in the book of Acts, I think it's 7 or 9, they were making their living off of making idols of silversmiths. Was making idols. They were making it to the goddess of Ephesus, which is Diana. Her other name is Artemis. She's a hunter. 8, right there, 8 and 3. This is unbelievable to see that at the time of Tartaria, this is what they were worshiping, Lucifer. You're looking right at it. So when it comes to fact checking, and you see 8 and 3 on top of your church, like you can do a Google search and look for the First Baptist Church in America, and the First Baptist Church in America has the same configurations, 8 and V. I have plenty of churches to show, and if Yahweh's willing, I really don't want to labor on showing a bunch of churches, because there's more important things to do I'm excited to get to the testimonies and to move forward. But you know, if he's willing and that's what he wants, I can show you over 100 churches that has the same configurations. That way I know that Lucifer is in the churches, that is teaching and instructing and leading the whole nation. Those who follow Trinity and her number 8. That's what it's about. That's the spirit of anti-Messiah. Is a confusion that came out of Babylon. The truth is simple, that we believe that he sent his son, and that's all there is to it. And to follow him. But instead you have the churches telling us that we have to speak in tongues, we have to cast out demons and do backflips in order to be saved, in order to be qualified to be a member of the church. No, the church is full of confusion, and Lucifer, the name means to make a show. Look at the etymology for Lucifer and see if your church matches to that. Of course it does, because a true Jew is one who's changed on the inside, not the outside, who seeks praise of our Father and not of men. We don't seek praises of our Father or of men, putting on shows and people clapping at us and celebrating us. No, the only thing that can be celebrated is our Messiah and our Creator above all. Here's your Messiah right there, the false Messiah. This is your false Messiah. 8 and 1, 2, 3, right there on the Pope's crown. The church is not set apart, you know. You thought you protested the Trinity. You didn't protest the Trinity because you still are keeping the Trinity. You're still believing the Trinity in the same day, 8th day, right there. Sunday is your 8th day, and you follow Trinity. This is the God right there that's leading the churches. But don't be discouraged, because our body, there are 2 eyes in the body. There are 2 hands. There are 2 feet. There are many members in the body, and your pastor cannot know everything. I can't know everything. None of us can. But together, we come together and we can figure this out. This is what your pastors do not know. The majority, I'm sure. That they need to see that this is how Lucifer has a stronghold on America and the nations. You're looking at it right there. The Pope has no authority. Yahweh of armies has just exploited. If you've seen the video on the Pope's crown, Yahweh of armies, the creator of all things, has exploited the lies and the power that's under this over the Pope. He is in danger, and he needs to see this information, that he'll be set, that he's set free. But the problem is, nobody likes correction, and that'd be your loss. Those who are prideful and arrogant, because our Creator will deliver those who are humble, not those who are proud. See the spider video right here on the crown. These things that I'm showing to you are not of Yahweh's kingdom. Tartaria is not of Yahweh's kingdom. This is my conclusion of it, and each one had to see according to what they believe, but I'm hoping that you will see enough information to where your belief will increase. Here's a Bible from the 1800s. The word Bible is a reference to a goddess. The word holy is a reference to a goddess. Matter of fact, the word heaven is related to a goddess. The word salvation is related to a goddess. The word, there's so many words that they're all pointing to the goddess, because our Creator Yahweh did that, because He wants the people set apart from it. And He's showing us mixture. It's all about mixture. 8 and 3, right there on the cover. Here's your eye idol. Your eye idols, right there. That's not a happy face. Here's ways they appear, right there at the bottom. It's all the same thing. I've seen enough by the guidance of our Creator to know the difference between a natural pattern and an unnatural. And these are unnatural. Eight and 3. These are in all the nations. It seemed to become a trend in part of the culture that the secular people had used these patterns, you know, to put into their curtains or their furniture or their clothes. So it actually became built into our world naturally, because if Lucifer leads the world, then the world is going to reflect it through his behavior, symbols, names, colors, numbers, patterns of behavior, everything. Like here's an American hero. This is an old TV show from back in the 70s called America's Greatest Hero. There ain't nothing greatest about it except for the Black Widow who wants to be greater than the male. Step back and look and see. That's a transgender image. Half male, it looks like a male or a woman. You can't tell if you step back because there's no hair on the face, number one. The hairstyle is curly and his arms are folded and the legs are crossed. That's feminine right there. You can't, you know, if you need to talk to, if you need to verify that with a clinical psychologist, they'll show you that this is a feminist pose right there. The cape right there is black with a little red. That's the colors of the female black widow spider. And you look at the logo on the chest, is 8 and V. Right there is the eye idol, and that's the same match to the female black widow spider, that picture right there. The picture right there of the spider is on his chest, and the cape is the same color, black and red. And it's transgender image because Inanna is transgender. There's that's the replacement right there. The American hero is to become the image of Lucifer, and they're taking over the army, trying to. There's your octagram. This is a Varnish manuscript from the 15th century, and it shows the same spirit. They're reaching out to touch the stars. I got this image because this the letters right here is similar to the ones here on underneath the letter H, the little swirls. Yahweh had led me to see the Bible, and then after that he showed me Varnish manuscript. That the possibility is that it's the same spirit, same influence from the manuscript from the 1500s. The octograms you see here is same as, it's synonymous with the Iron Cross. That's not a secret no more. The curly things here, like on the Bible cover, same style here, same style on these right here. Minor details, but the devil's in the details, and there's patterns that are all the same. On the head of the church is octagram. Right there is octagram. If you look at the South Pole and the North Pole, they both have a queen, because Yahweh has done this, that this would rule over the planet. The influence of the goddess religion of the nations. And it's a match to the spider who rules. This is how it is in the spirit realm. And when the believer comes to understand that our Creator, through the works of Yahshua, removes the authority of Lucifer over the nations, then the nations will be free. But when you align yourself to Inanna, you have no power. You can't do both. You can't do both. We can't honor Yahweh and then honor Inanna at the same time and expect for Him to honor us and to help us and to do His works. Here's another example 8 and then 3. This is not Jesus Christ right here. This is not our Messiah. Look at the title of the video. They say that 1,000 years were added to our timeline. They believe that all these buildings reflect Jesus and the kingdom, the millennial reign. Well, you're looking at the data. The videos I present to you has all the facts that you need to see. Well, not all, but you know what I mean. That there's signs for you to see that will help you to know that these things do not match up to the kingdom of Yahweh, but they line up to Inanna and to the god of this world, Lucifer. On his jacket is the Elohim right there. That way we would see it and know. They worship the sun and the moon. That's really what it boils down to. These symbols you see right here on the left, they also have a reference to the sun and moon worship. The union of the sun and moon. The obelisks that you see were used and are used to track this the sun as it makes its patterns through the whole year of the Elohim, the number 8. So the people worship the sun in this particular way, and just by having an obelisk is a marker for the number 8. That's the number 8 right there. Because that's what it does. It shows this right here. Here's another image. This is a local image. I'll make another file as Yah leads and according to his timing and pleasure to show more examples that these are in the cities. This old world building also has inside there the number 8. So it's not just on the outside, you'll see it right there on the inside, the same spirit. It's a spirit without belief in the Creator, without understanding of our Maker. And what happens is the spirit of the world takes possession, and the spirit of the world is led by Inanna, and her number is 8. That's the answer. 8 on top and 3 below, right there. Now you get an example. You're seeing that there's no cross here, but there's the number 8 still. This is how the enemy does it. Here's the letter M, or the M symbol. The Freemasons use these. Here again, this is in Lima, Peru, in the 1800s. Same thing. Every nation. This is a local image here. And you'll see this one. Another example. The old world buildings are being occupied by mostly government agencies and state agencies. But other times you'll see that there's, like here, they have rock concerts and metal concerts and Megadeth concerts and grunge. So the point is that how would I say that? Let me give you an example. As you see the videos earlier or later, you'll see there are churches that are old world churches, and inside there's a transgender pastor in the church. So the building invites a spirit of the same likeness. It'll be very clear when you get to this image. These are 8 that are alike. 8 that are the same, 8 that are alike, and right below it is 3. 8 and 3. The anti-Messiah is excessive, without boundaries, without limits. There's no boundaries, no limits, and that's what they're showing off right here. Because Lucifer means to make a show, to be worshipped. Unbelievable. Look at the details. You see the bars right here on the right, these bars and the columns. This is like the images for the Tower of Babylonia, the Tower of Babel, and also the Capitol buildings, the Roman Colosseum buildings. They all do the same thing. There's no empty space. Everything is covered. One thing as it shows is very excessive. That's one thing that Yahweh does not like, and that's why I know that this has nothing to do with his kingdom, because he does not teach and like excessiveness. That's a picture of Babylon. Read Revelation 17:18. You'll see that the word oil, rich, luxury, plentiful, excessive are all connected to Babylon. Let your moderation be known to all men. That's what the Master says. The words of the book settle the matter and speak the truth. The anti-Messiah is absurd, and that's what we see today. It's returning. This spirit is still here with us. It's not returning. It may be. I can't say, but I do know that it's increasing, that it's spreading, it's increasing and growing. Like the artificial intelligence is very fast. Some of us can't catch our breath because the artificial intelligence is moving so fast. It was a 5-year-old at one point, and then months later it's like a 20-year-old, because it's growing and learning and moving fast to destroy to destroy people. Here is the swastikas, and I've seen this on a local building. It's a federal building. You'll find this in Oklahoma. My dad was a 45th Infantry Division, and they had swastikas. A sun symbol. It's not too important to see like what does that mean. What I believe is more important is to see that it's used by all the nations. So all the nations are joined together by the number 8. This is what Yahweh reveals. Not what it means to them, to India, to Russia. It was in my past in Tibetan Buddhism in Bonpo. You know, it was very common, but it has different types of meanings. But Yahweh shows to me it's not important what they think and what they teach their meaning. He's shown to me that all the nations have come together with Inanna by the number 8 and the Trinity. The sun, the moon, and the stars, and they're right here. The sun, the moon, and stars. See the moon symbol? You'll see this here in Islam as well. So you have to choose what you believe, and so I just present to you the symbol meanings 8 and 3. So the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light will not be sharing the same symbols, or they can't dwell together as one or the other. And I showed you the image of Diana of Ephesus with the 8 breasts, or that does not fit in with Yahweh's kingdom. Crosses and 3. The anti-Messiah is absurd. Here is the symbols of, you'll see I showed before with a massive Sumerian script for the Dingur, the little triangle with the line. It appears the same, but it's not just one symbol that's matching the Sumerians. There's several other symbols that match Sumerians. The Dingur, 88, 8 and V, 888, the letter M, the sun and the moon. The anti-Messiah is absurd. I don't know if it's a hoax, old school cosplay. The spirit of the anti-Messiah is absurd. Baby incubators. This is what they're doing today. They want to reproduce the same concept. A world without the Messiah is a world that wants to do things according to Inanna. Anti-Messiah is absurd. See the medieval artwork for more examples. Don't know if this picture is true or not, but in the pictures I've seen, there's large people, large doors, and large horses, because the anti-Messiah is absurd. The giant statue. Very, very excessive. Very excessive here too. Everything's excessive. Babylon is luxurious. Look at the idols. Unbelievable. Limitless, as if they have no limit. These are all protectors. Lucifer from the root meaning to make a show and to be clear. To be clear is Halah. Lucifer is from the word Hillel, is from Halah, which is to be clear. And here is clear. That's what they call this right here. This drug is called clear. This is methamphetamines. It had no power over me because I trusted that Yahweh sent his son in 1997, and from that time until now I've encountered all kinds of trouble, and none of it kept me down. Our Creator, out of his love and his promise to me, delivered me every time from every trouble that I've encountered. That's the promise I have. I don't have no desire to do wicked anymore because of him. He has done that. And he showed to me that there is hope, that no matter what I go through, if I keep my trust in him and do as he says, he will deliver me. He says, whoever calls upon the name of Yahweh shall be saved. When you call upon the name of Yahshua Messiah, you're calling upon the name of the Father. He came in his Father's name for us. Here it is on the forehead. The movie Wonder Woman 1984, I can't say their intentions, what the number is. Why is 1984? If it's from the movie 1984, but in the spirit, Yahweh shows to me it's a Master Lucifer, as does the crown on her forehead match. This is the spirit of the world, and you know that this drug is connected to Inanna, the goddess of pleasure, not love, but pleasure. If we control our pleasure levels and lower ourselves, our Creator will help us get through it. But we need to know his sovereignty. And one thing I'm upset about is the church is not teaching the sovereignty of Yahweh, but instead they're teaching you to go out to the store and buy a bunch of books on spiritual warfare. Of course, you know, the new believers will need that type of material. It might be helpful, but the best thing to do is to not take on any thoughts of any man, especially at the beginning, that you would get the thoughts of our Creator and not be filled with the thoughts of man. So the church has you dependent upon them. That's why they do casting out demons. That's why they do speaking in tongues. All these things, spiritual warfare. You know, if you know the sovereignty of Yahweh, you won't need those things. You won't need the books on spiritual warfare. So the church needs to teach the sovereignty, to fear the sovereignty and respect the sovereignty of Yahweh, who is in control of everything, because he is powerful enough to remove the desires for us to do evil. Mainstream church, they're putting on a show, just like in Tartaria. It's the same spirit. There's nothing here about being modest and meek and lowly, but being loud and shiny. These are idols here, protectors. And in this video, they think that the millennial kingdom of Christ already came. Can you imagine how many people are being disappointed, thinking that they missed out on something because of being misled? Can't blame the Jesuits, because the match with the Kali Yantra symbol right here, all the nations, all the world. I do know that they do a lot of movies because they put their symbols in their movies. I'll give you one example. There's a movie with the nice detective with Bruce Willis. In that movie, there's an ambulance, and the ambulance on the side of it says Jesuit Memorial. That's a no-brainer right there. The Jesuits put that film together. But my belief is that they believe, just like the Knights Templars, that they were doing good, but just simply misled. When they make movies, they might have intentions to make movies to try to influence us to do a positive thing and for a positive outcome, but they don't understand that Lucifer right here is leading them. There is a seashell for Lucifer right there, number 9. It's in the Barbie trailer right here, number 9. It's in the coat of arms right here for the Pope, number 9. This is 9 right here. The serpent is 9, and this right here with Barbie shows that Lucifer is a female. That's the image they're showing. Lucifer is a female. Here's the idols here. Crosses. Idols here. Here's examples of the World's Fair. Look at the pillars, these columns. This is what's in all the world. Like people say, it's the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire in all the world. It's really Lucifer's empire of the earth. Same columns here. No matter what country you see, you'll see the same thing, because it has one mind. They're not reading a playbook. There's no instruction manual that they give to each other. Same thing for the pyramids. All around the world, there's pyramids all around the world, because the spirit has one mind. And all these nations that are doing sacrifice, they would do sacrifices to appease the gods and goddesses, so that they won't destroy the planet, and that they would be prosperous. These are fertility gods and goddesses. Same thing here with these columns. Same thing for Tartaria structures, and same thing for the symbols that you're seeing. 8 and V. There's 4 bars here. That will be 8, like the Christian cross. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 3 below it. The Vatican as well, octograms everywhere. Octograms 8, and then right here is a pattern that looks like 8 and 8. This is the old world. Many of these buildings are still standing in Ukraine. But what's interesting, the Ukraine war, many of these are being destroyed. And guess what? There's a war in Gaza, and Gaza has the same type of buildings that are being destroyed. They have 7 different mosques in Gaza that got destroyed. But Yahweh was very mighty and very kind to show to me the great Gaza mosque in Gaza is it shows 8 and 3. That way I know that this right here is in all the nations. Just in Israel, in Ukraine, nobody's immune to it. In Tartaria, the videos I've seen, they show many star forts all across the world. I can only guess, what that would be for. And guessing don't do too much good. Here's a building with 3. And there's no cross, it's a flagpole. The original, I doubt, would be a flagpole compared to all the images that's being seen. Most likely that was a cross to create the image. To create the image and the idol of Lucifer. 8 and 3 here. Here it is in Britain. There are 3 below it. 8 and 3. Here's a Sumerian image right here. This is what's special about this picture is a pitchfork. The pitchfork will be a picture of the triple deity. This from Samaria. And that this right here in the background is Sumerian as well. You'll find that in Sumerian. And the triple deity. Like right here. On all the windows. Octograms. My lunch break, he has uncovered quite a bit, and he believes that the griffins is the symbol for Tartaria. Personally, I see that if it was a lion with wings, it would clearly, without question, without doubt, be a picture of Babylon, especially with the octogram. So my belief is that the animal was changed to a bird's face to hide a little bit of the evidence of Babylon. And the merchants of the earth will wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Revelations 18:3. The number 8 points to the word fat. See Strong's number 8080. The spider is shiny and fat. This is the revelations that Yahweh gave to me. This is the order he gave it to me. The spider is shiny and 8, the number 8. Shema Israel, which is to hear. Yahweh told me pay attention to hear what he has shown to me. These are all in order, just a couple numbers apart. This is the power of Yahweh to confirm to me and show to me. And then he showed to me the Caesar Nero, the original name is different than his new name. His original name, Caesar Nero, is pointing to the term Lucifer, the red spider. You can look it up on Wikipedia. So look at the new name and the old name for Caesar Nero. They point to the red spider. Because this is the spirit that's ruling the world. That's what I see. And even the Romans culture had testified to it by their number and their symbols. The spider left their mark on Tartaria. The number 8, octograms, 8 and 3, 888, greater than sign. The stars, they represent gods, many star forts and many crosses. There is lawlessness without boundaries and without limits, and very excessive. And they celebrated a female deity and with lights. And symbols are used by the globalists today. And there were giants. Where are the Tartarians today? Only Yah knows. This is what he showed to me and where he's led me to see. This is a Goodwill church. You can go to the website, just put the word .org at the end. Right there is a master spider on the front of the church. 8 and 3. So the spider crept into America and the nations early on, as you're seeing. There's also 3 windows too. 1, 2, and 3 windows. Here is a Islamic building. I believe it's a mosque. One of them, one of the pillars. This right here is an octagram, and down here is 3, 8 and 3. This is a great Gaza mosque. It also has 8 and 3. I want you to remember that Inanna is from Iran. The Sumerian deity of Babylon, that's where she's from, and it's spread throughout the whole world. But the people in Iran is not the enemy. It's sin nature. That's the enemy. And of course, Lucifer is not. We don't have enemies. Yahweh has enemies. We don't have enemies. Here is some more images of Lucifer. Right there, 88. 88. And the door with 2 X's is also 88. Right there. When I first received the revelations on the spider, this is in 2004, Yahweh was leading me in many ways, and one was through the Harry Potter website. I went to the Harry Potter website and I had a dream about some symbols, and I seen a map on the website, and I followed the symbols on the map, and when I found the correct symbol on the map, it led me to a room that showed me a door with 2 black widows on the door. And this was a symbol that Yahweh showed to me. I didn't understand it, but I want you to look and see that we can trust our Maker, and I'll show you to what he did, that he fulfilled. He showed to me the meaning of the 2 spiders in Proverbs chapter 30 verses 15, where he says that the horse leech has 2 daughters. That's what he showed to me in scriptures. And then he showed me the sign of the 2 spiders within politics and religion in the churches. And the female also has the XX chromosome. That's associated to the female. But Yahweh shows to me to trust him, and here in a minute, as I go forward, you'll see the sign fulfilled of the 2 spiders, of the double X on the door. Here's inside. It's 8 and 3, the cross, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a symbol of Inanna, and if you look underneath it, there's 3 underneath it. So if you miss that and you don't count that, you can still see there's 8 or 3 underneath the cross, under the number 8. The churches know about idolatry, but they want to follow their own thoughts, their own understanding. 8 and 3. Revelation 18:4. Come out of her, my people, he says, lest you partake of her plagues. And many have already done that. Many have partaken her plagues when COVID came. Yahweh was against this Trinity religion of the mixture. Everything is for our perfection. The only people who are condemned, keep in mind, according to Romans 8, are those who are not with the blood of the Lamb, who have not been cleansed with the blood of the Lamb and reborn into the kingdom. And even if you have been born in the kingdom, you'll be condemned if you pursue idolatry, and you go the wrong way. Then you're in trouble. Then you can't do idolatry. Yahweh will straighten it out, because I was guilty of all of it too. I went through all kinds of trouble. But we trust him, and he'll get us through it. This is from CBS Sunday Morning. right there in the window. Right there in the window is a big light. And this is what they're reproducing. There's a light in the window. This here has 16 stars. This, I don't know where that came from. Why it's there. It was CBS early mornings. This is the end of the video. You can see the video. It's a 6-minute video. And I counted these right here. And it's a match to the Dingur. 8 and 8. The Sumerian Dingur is 8 and 8. If it's of this if it's of this world, it's gonna. That's where it's gonna point to. It's not gonna point to Yahweh. Here is an example of the old world buildings. This is how it's being used today. If the federal government has the building, then church and state will be noticed. You'll see the union of Inanna within the government. For example, you'll have government agencies that are promoting transgenders culture. Let's not just say one thing, because the list is too long. They will do everything opposite to Yahweh. Like you see right here, this is a drag queen inside of a church dancing. And it's an old world building church. Because the birds of feather flock together. This here is an environment built for Lucifer with all the symbolism here. That's why you have these type of people inside these churches. Here is the globalist leaders. They are using these old world buildings. This is at the Queen Elizabeth II, her funeral procession. May Yahweh bless her soul. She, just like any global leader, are being misled away from Yahweh's kingdom. This right here symbol was in the trailer for Dune. If you watch again, that at the very beginning, the military had this right here. This is the needle for Inanna, the goddess of weaving. Take a look at the global leaders here. They all have octograms on representing 888. Many of them have 888. Some have just only 8. And down here is the eye idol built in. This is old world structures that are full of idols. This would not be known unless it was came by the blood of the Lamb, to uncover the world as it really is. Prince Charles has the needle, and there's idols surrounding him. He's victim like everybody else. He didn't put that together. There were some that came before him. The thing is, we're following traditions of our forefathers, and a lot of times we don't know what we're doing, but we're attracted to it, and we're being seduced to follow the secrets and mysteries. When I was 15 years old, I had the Egyptian Book of the Dead, 12 o'clock at midnight, out in the streets in the parking lot, reading that book, because I thought there's some secrets and mysteries that I need to find and learn. These people do the same thing. Globalists, secret societies, Freemasons, whoever they are. Nobody's immune to it, because Lucifer is all about seducing us. You don't have to have a beautiful woman to seduce you. You can be seduced by magic and tricks and traditions and religions and all kinds of things. The lust of the eyes come in many forms. The goddess of weaving, that's what their symbols are. Even a builder. 888. This is the Trinity. I showed you from the Bible. The needle. There is the needle right there, the thread. The needle and the thread. This is how it appears. This is what Yahweh shown to me. The God of the Freemason builders and of this world system. It's a spirit, not a person. And there is a name. And you're seeing this name, this symbol in all the world, in all these structures. There's one last place that this name is going to take you to, but I cannot share all of it right now. But I want you to know that our Creator, He is without limits. And we are His creation, and creation has limits. The Fibonacci sequence that you've heard about, it has limits. It's called self-simulation. Like a tree, when a tree branches out, it'll make new branches and new branches. The fractals that you see, they reproduce and reproduce, but it has limits. Creation has limits, and I think I found the end that where I need to have boundaries, and I need to have limits on how much I receive and share and understand, because Yahweh is the one who is without limits. But everything, as you'll see, it'll point right back to Him. All of it. Everything that I share about these numbers and symbols, it's going to point back to Him. Here's King Charles. Because Yahweh owns it all. That's why. I want to point that out. He's the owner of it. Prince Charles. But what you didn't see maybe is right here. Filmmakers are notorious for putting symbols in the middle shot. Right there. That's 8 and V. It has the 4 petals, which is 8, and the one in the middle is the chevron. It's 8 and 3, 8 and V. The same thing appears right here in the Barbie trailer. The middle shot is 8 and the V, the chevron. And her necklace is 8, 8, 8 as well. Like I showed you before, they come together, 8 and V, and then the 3 8s also. And then the checkered pattern is also a picture of duality of a male and female. This is a symbol of androgyny. This right here refers to Inanna. The 3 8s refer to Inanna, and so do the checkers. She is androgynous. Lucifer is androgynous. Inanna is androgynous. This is androgynous God religion of the world, of the globalists. Here's a clear picture. It's in a local church here. Same pattern, 8 and V. Then, and their colors are Nazi colors. Don't mean to offend anybody, but that's just the facts. Is that the symbols is of Inanna, and the colors are shared by the Nazis with the white and red on black. That's the wrong colors for the kingdom of Yahweh. These are the colors of the nations use, and their God uses the same nations of Inanna, and the name of Inanna here's on his forehead, right there on his forehead. This is from the movie Wasp and the Ant-Man. This is from the Dune. At the very beginning, there's a mention of the Space Guild, and this is the Space Guild they were referring to. And the Space Guild has the name of Inanna right here, symbol 8 and V right there. This is more on the procession for Queen Elizabeth. I want to show you the environment right there. It may not look like much, but there are many symbols hidden, and they're wearing it. Right there is there's the 8 and V. Checker floor, androgynous symbol. Colors of the female black widow spider, also right there. Idols on the wall and idols on the floor. The environment is fit for the gods to move into and to occupy. That's what this here is. And that's why they do it. I mean, from what Yahweh's shown to me, there could be no other way or no other reason to have these names and idols in there if you're not going to invite the gods to dwell there, including their protectors. See, these are all protectors and saints. The blue is from above, red is from below. That's a choice. This is most striking. 8 and 3 right there. This is the coffin for the queen. Bless her soul. I pray that Yahweh will bless those who see this and to understand that they would repent, because the globalists are misled. Anybody can be misled. I was misled when I was a Buddhist, following the wrong things, but the same symbols. You see, I was following a different religion, but we had the same symbols, 8 and 3, and the Trinity. There's an octagram on the bottom, and right there on top is 3 steps. Lucifer has power over this culture that I'm looking at right here. All the nations. Take a look here. This is on the funeral for the Queen's funeral. There are 28 million Brits. 28 is a number connected to the Black Widow. It has 28 chromosomes. It has 28 chromosomes, and 28 also is a number connected to Lucifer. You can see it here in the video. So I have 2 signs in front of me, well, several signs. The colors of the female black widow spider. The hat is really big because Lucifer wants to be greater, so the big hats, just like the aliens and the skulls from Peru, where the skulls are elongated, and those even in Egypt with elongated skulls, I personally believe that those were forced to be that shape, because the spirit of the kings of the earth have laid with Inanna, and they're showing outward signs that they have made their pledge their allegiance to Lucifer by these signs. The big head, the colors of the female black widow spider, 8 and V, and the 28 chromosomes right there. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at 4 signs that match the spider. You are a widow, says Yahweh of hosts. That's the word he gave to me last year, and now I see what he means. He means that the nations need to repent. That they need to repent and to call upon him for his help, because if not, without his son, you are a widow. And you will look like it, act like it, behave like it, and you will die like one, which is by fire. Here is the leader of the group. The procession is being led by a female black widow spider right there. And on the walls, 88, right there, Lucifer, 8 and 8. Right there, 8 and 8. Here is the symbol right there, 8 and V on each one of these. 8 and V is a match to the spider. And then the octograms, they're dressed like a fool. Because Lucifer, see, this is like the spider. It's brighter and shinier and bigger than the male. It's making a show. And the floor. Michael Hesser, may Yahweh bless his soul. He's contributed quite a bit. Even he's a Trinitarian, but he's our brother, and he believes in the burial, the death, and the the burial and the resurrection of Jesus. And he's pointed out things that we can learn from. And one thing he agrees that the pyramids and the garden are environments for the gods. So I recommend watch that short video as you consider what I'm showing to you, these images. And the other previous videos will show old world building churches, and there's transgender pastors and drag queens inside them. So that what he talks about is in agreement. Not that it's needed, but it helps you to see with. That's the point, is to help you to see. In the other videos I've shown that there's a handful of churches to review and look at, and they all have the same symbolism of 8 and V. And this one down here, this MIA Christian artist, she's a Hindu who got converted to Christianity, but she believes in the Trinity. And I heard her in a video trying to explain that she believes that the Trinity of Hinduism and the Trinity of Christianity is the same thing. So there's your mistake. And she was in a video, and in her video she shows the symbol of Inanna, the cross and the chevron with large angel wings. But regardless, they're all showing agreement by the Trinity and the number 8. They show the same signs. People mean well, like the Knights Templars, like here. They feared Virgin Mary, and they loved Virgin Mary, but it was actually Inanna. They got their beliefs mixed up. The spirit of error is what brings a lot of trouble. The Bible says that Yahweh sent his son. That's what it says. But somehow the church got seduced to believe the Babylonian way. Here's more information. You can watch this video on the church and religions to see examples here. Here is the symbol again, 8 and V. Each of these leaders are wearing it. The Master Spider is a fool. All the global leaders here are wearing it. And it's the same here for Charles Schwab of the World Economic Forum. The star of Lucifer is 9. 9, and blue is for him and red is for her. Blue is for boys and red is for girls. The number 9, Tet, is for the serpent, and to the left is Inanna, 8 and V. But you know, I'm not going to get involved in the complications, but Yahweh showed to me the sign, and it does not belong to his kingdom. Here they are, 8 in the media, in films, 8 and 3, same thing, 8 and 3. In each of the movies, Dracula, 8 and 3. On the forehead is 8, and the number 3 is below it. Here is different because it's hanging, but usually, as you see, the number 8 is above the 3. It's a picture of the crescent moon and the sun disk. Here's another one, 8 and 3. So here is the old world has not left. It's still here, as you see with these structures. 8 and 3. Very clear. It's an octagram right there. This here is the octagram right there inside. In the other video, I explained about the cube, so you can learn more about this and the roots of it. This is the great mosque in Mecca. And to the right, the overview shows the eye idol with the number 3. And here's the doorway. You'll see right here the doorway that shows 3, 3, and 3. There it is, 9, the triple deity. Here's the video to watch to learn more. This triple deity symbol of 3, 3, and 3 is on this church also. They share the same symbols. They share the same deity, which is Lucifer. Here's on this cathedral, 8 or 3, 3 and 3 is 9, and they have their protectors. In my past practice of Tibetan Buddhism, I also had the same exact symbol, 8 and 3, and I'll show you. I'll show it before, and I'll show it again. It's 8, the Dharma chakra. It's in the 3, right there. 8 and 3. There's no denying that the 8 is on top of the 3. And the data that I have is very encouraging to me, because I know without a doubt that Yahweh has prepared me and called me and sent me with these words and these messages, because it's written in my testimony from over 30 years ago. The work he started, he continues, and he verifies it in a very powerful way that I would trust him. It's 8 and 3 right there. Just last month I found this information, that I was a practicing Tibetan Buddhism, but now I know that Lucifer is over my past religion, and that my old brothers that's in the Sangha that practice, they are in danger now. And so now I have a duty to share with them what I've discovered. All the nations have been tricked. Not of Yahweh's kingdom. They shall be ashamed and also disgraced, all of them. They shall go in confusion together who are makers of idols. Lucifer is the god of the world. That is what I see in Tartaria, not the kingdom of Yahweh. The Messiah says it's not of this world. You can guarantee that if his kingdom was this world, it would look way much better than we see in these old pictures of Tartaria in the old world. You know he could do better than that. Matter of fact, the description of it will be in Revelations in the end of your Bible. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the eyes of the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Messiah, who is the image of Elohim, should shine unto them. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. I have a lifetime of promises that I've seen them fulfilled, and by that I trust him. His words have spoken it, and he confirms it, and we can trust him. If I was Lucifer, which I'm not, and if I went across the earth and flew over the earth like a bird, I would be able to tell that all the world is mine for one reason. It's marked with my name symbol all over the world. That's how Lucifer would know, because all the kings of the earth have the symbol of Lucifer all throughout the earth, in the churches, outside the churches, in the government, in the films and movies, in your commerce and your products. There's countless people and organizations and businesses, they're all showing up the same way. But Yahweh has done it that way. Would see the kingdom that is not of Him, and learn to become set apart, and to reach out and to try to help those to see the dangers that are upon the earth. That Lucifer is manipulating all the nations by Trinity and the number 8. And when I say Trinity, it's not just the Christian Trinity. I mean any goddess, any religion that refers to a goddess religion, whether it's Wicca, witchcraft, and whether it's Buddhism, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, or any religion that's promoting the feminine energy and a feminine goddess, that would be all religions except for the faith of our Messiah. Even Kabbalah, there's the and the Jews have the Queen of Shabbat. You don't need no Queen of Shabbat to come in to try to take over the show like a narcissistic vampire. Those are all traditions. There's your queen right there. That's your Queen of Shabbat. You don't need no queen. You start to follow the wrong things, the spirit of error, one thing will lead to another. Just like with Hanukkah, it's a feast of the nations to celebrate the sacrifice that was made, and look what happened. The 8 ended up replacing the 7. I'm talking about the menorah, because see, Lucifer is a narcissistic vampire and wants to steal the show from everybody. So that's why the menorah has 8 and not 7 for Hanukkah. And Hanukkah, if you see, will match the feast of the nations of the Roman Empire, the market days. There's a video I have on that, on Christmas and Hanukkah. You'll see if you're interested. But anytime we try to do something good, the enemy doesn't try to supplant that, because Inanna, the goddess religion, is like a dominatrix, a dominatrix to overpower. Just what you're seeing right here. Come out of Trinity and our number 8, Revelation 18:4.